I am very excited to make this video today. And why, you ask? Because as someone who has gone through lower back pain, lower back issues for the last 4 to 5 years, I understand the frustration and the inconvenience it can be to your performance and everyday life of having a weak or dysfunctional lower back. So I'm going to take you through 4 exercises that you can do that will strengthen your lower back, get rid of that lower back pain forever, completely change your athletic performance and your posture, physicality in general, because the lower back is overlooked, is an overlooked region when it comes to strength and mobility, but it's very important to everything, just daily picking up stuff off the ground, you name it, the lower back is involved. So I'm going to take you through these 4 exercises, very simple. Let's go. So the first exercise we're going to do is back extensions. Now you can see my setup, barbell, some weights on either side, in the power rack, and a bench with obviously some levitation or elevation involved, I should say. So you do have to be creative if you don't have the necessary equipment to do this, as easy as possible. If you have a Roman chair or, something of that nature, you can obviously use that. That's a lot easier. But for us who don't, this is how we're going to make it happen. So make sure you got something padded here to protect your ankles. And all we're going to do, guys, is bring ourselves to the edge of the bench. And we're just going to work on strengthening the spine and all the back muscles connected. So we want to get good, at doing these with no weights. Now, if that is even hard for you to do that, what we're going to do is work on the isometric first. So you're just going to practice holding here. This is going to help to strengthen all of the back, the erector spinae, the glutes, the hamstring, the entire posterior chain is being hit when we're doing back extensions. Now, over time, like any other exercise that we do, we want to work on progressive overload. So we want to start to add weight. So once we start to hit higher reps of like 20 or maybe 30 reps, cool, for 2 or 3 sets, what we do now is we either grab a weight, a barbell, something of that nature, and we continue to strengthen the spine through the same range of motion. Let's make sure that's in the correct place. Through the same range of motion, but now we're doing it under load. So we grab the plate, and that is going to bulletproof our lower back. Take your time when progressing these. Don't try to overdo it from the jump. I would definitely recommend start off with body weight, the isometric, see how you prepare with those first, and then you start to move on with weight. So just to bring you in a little bit closer so you can really see what's going on in regards to the muscles being worked. So when we come up, all this is contracting here. It's getting nice and strong under load. And then as we come down, we're getting the extension, and at the top, we're getting that flexion, guys. Strengthening it all the way through. Obviously the hamstrings and the glutes are part of the posterior chain, so they're also getting worked. So that's why you can just do isometrics if you aren't quite strong enough yet to go through the full range of motion, but it's much needed work that our back is going to utilize. Now, if you don't have the setup or you're struggling with the back extensions, what we can do, guys, is some reverse hypers. So it's literally going to be the opposite. So instead, we're going to bring ourselves onto a bench like so, and we're going to work on this range of motion right here. Still going to strengthen the spine, the erectors, the glutes, and obviously the hamstrings are involved as well. It's just a different range of motion that we're working through. Now you can do this on the edge of a bed. Again, if you've got like a bench or a chair, anything like that, that is going to allow you to get that ground clearance and still allow you to go through that full range of motion. Now, obviously loading this is going to be a bit different. You may have to hold a dumbbell in between your legs, or the best option to go for is a resistance band that's attached to something, and then you can just work through that range of motion. But reverse hyper is a fantastic exercise that you can do. Again, get very creative if you don't have the equipment, and still similar to the back extension, you can work on the isometric. So if you're really suffering, just holding here, building up that strength for maybe a minute, 30 seconds, taking a break and going again, guys, is another fantastic way that you can work the posterior chain and strengthen that lower back. Now, if you have a partner, they can add some pressure. So for example, when you're holding the isometric, they can put some light pressure on your legs to really engage that lower back and strengthen it. But if you're working by yourself, just doing that range of motion will be more than enough. The neglected part of the core is that even those who may not have any sort of back injuries or, you know, things like that, the obliques. Now, the obliques are connected obviously to the lower back as well as the abs and everything of that nature. So we must make sure that we're making sure that we're strengthening our obliques. And a great way we can do this is with oblique bends or crunches, whatever you want to call them. Now, you can come back on to your back extension setup, but I'm going to show you another way you can do them if you don't have this set up and still want to make sure your obliques are nice and strong. So we're just going to come here like that, and then we're going to crunch up, and that is going to target the obliques on the side, but it's also going to target the QL muscle. Now, why do we want to target the QL muscle? Well, I believe it's pronounced the quadratus lumborum. Look that up if you want. It is a very, I wouldn't say it's a small muscle, but it's smaller in comparison to some of the other back muscles, and it plays a large role in stabilizing, and it's also connected to the glutes, the hips, and everything else like that. So the QL, which the issue I have is that if it becomes too short and tight, it's gonna offset your hips, make a lot of different movement patterns very difficult, because you'd be able to put a certain amount of load through one leg or one part of the spine or one part of the back, sorry, and the other side is weak and tight and stiff, and it's going to give you all sorts of back issues. So what we're going to do now when doing the oblique bends is that we're focusing on a unilateral movement, so we're focusing on one side at a time. So if you're having issues on one side of your back compared to the other, oblique bends are really going to benefit you, because I said, as we go through this extension here, and as we come up, we're flexing, we're making sure both sides of the back, both QLs, are getting stronger. Now, if you don't have that back extension set up, what you're going to need is a chair, maybe a sofa, or just two chairs, and we can still do the QL crunches slash bends. So what we're going to do is bring ourselves here, place our feet on top of a chair, anything that's going to give us some ground clearance, and crunch down, push back up, crunch down, push back up. That's still going to work the obliques, still going to work the QL. Now, if that is a little bit challenging for you, well, we just remove the chair and we can do them just on the ground, still get a nice stretch, crunch back up. We must make sure that we're strengthening the obliques and the QLs to eradicate all sorts of back pain. Starting position is right here. Literally bend down, nice and strong, through the range of motion. A strong QL is going to be good posture. It's also going to prevent any sort of unwanted rotation within the spine. If one side is stronger than the other, it's going to lead to imbalances, asymmetry, all that other stuff, which we do not want at all. So once you find that one side is weaker than the other, we start working on strengthening it. Just like that. Now, obviously, you can progress these. You can put a weight plate on your side, or you can use a resistance band, up to you. However, just make sure you're doing this unilateral work for your QLs and your obliques, and your lower back should be strong as ever. Probably the most controversial exercise among the fitness community is the Jefferson curl. Now, I believe the Jefferson curl is misunderstood. The whole concept of rounding your spine under heavy load, a lot of people would say is dangerous, is, you know, gonna cause injury and whatever. And yes, if it is not trained correctly, you should be training to round your lower spine under load. And why should you do that? Well, one, let's say you were doing a deadlift, or you're picking up something and your lower back so happens to round, your body will be used to moving with load on your lower back, so your lower back will naturally be strong. Plus you want to train in different ranges of motion, so any range of motion can be strengthened if strengthened properly. So again, we want to start with a light load, and then as we get stronger with the light load, so perform a Jefferson curl, we come down nice, the back is rounded, and we come back up. This is safe, this is not dangerous. We're teaching our body, we're teaching our spine that this is a safe position. We're not scared to be in this position with load. As we get stronger, we incrementally increase the load. So if we do that for about 10 reps, we move on, we get a weight that we can do for 8 reps, we move on again, and as we get stronger, our back will become bulletproof. Sorry, we will not be afraid of picking up stuff, of moving stuff, of worrying is my posture during certain lifts absolutely perfect to prevent injury. Nothing is ever absolutely perfect. So training the Jefferson curl, we get that nice long lengthening on the hamstrings, we get the lower back working as well, the spine gets strengthened, the little muscles in between the disc, the vertebrae also get strengthened through a large range of motion, guys. So the more you avoid this range of motion, the more fragile that you are going to be in it, and it's going to lead to a back injury one day, especially if you're someone who likes to lift, or you're lifting heavy objects, or you just go to lift something and it's, you know, you're not prepared. You are going to cause yourself more damage than good, than rather training the movement so that naturally you become strong in this position here with your back fully rounded, and as you come up you have the confidence and the resilience in your spine and your lower back to perform the movement effectively, guys. Don't run away from it, take it head on. So those are the 4 exercises that you can do, guys, to bulletproof your lower back. Obviously we're working on extension strength, flexion strength, spinal stability, decompressing the spine, making sure the spine and the lower back remain healthy through large ranges of motion, which of course is going to lead to greater mobility, reduce the risk of injury, and then that way we can have a healthy, strong spine. We can be as athletic and as powerful as possible in different movements, different ranges of motion, without the fear of our back giving out or we're going to have any sort of lower back issues. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure you begin to implement these exercises into your routine, even if you're not suffering from any lower back issues at this moment in time. Just make sure that prevention is better than cure. So make sure you like, you comment, and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.